Hey guys, Steve Kudika with UTSA Demonstration Kitchen with you today. Today with the weekly cooking corner, what we're going to do is try and stretch your dollar with a rotisserie chicken. Everybody's used rotisserie chicken before. Maybe you're going to eat it one time, hopefully maybe more than one time. But stretch your dollar. We can get many different uses out of this. Once we clean it down, again, this is what we're going to come up with. Maybe 3 to 4 ounces of chicken is what you're going to get for your first meal. But how do we stretch that out? Through this whole chicken, whether it's white meat or dark meat, there's going to be probably 4 to 5 meals. And what we want to do is go through a couple of those meals today. So the first one that we're going to do is basically just a 5-grain salad, Mediterranean with Greek seasoning. This one basically has barley, lentils, split peas. It can be found in the rice and pasta section of your local HEB or Whole Foods. What I did is went ahead and boiled that down. This is what it'll look like. It is really simple, very simple directions on the bag. Pretty easy to follow. There's 1 cup of dry goods to 2.5 cups of liquid. One of the things that I did do, if you're gonna add any type of liquid to something, whether it be oil or stock, it needs to impart something. So if it's oil, we're imparting flavor. If it's stock, we're imparting flavor as well. So one of the things that we did is used just a better than bouillon. It's basically chicken base. 1 tablespoon of chicken base in that water turned it in essence into chicken broth. So what we did is just cooked it in chicken broth to add an extra layer of flavor. So again, that took about 10 minutes. You put just enough water into it to actually go through it. It's just finishing now. You can fluff that up gradually. But this dish is meant to be served cold. It does have a minimum number of ingredients, and it is full of a number of different types of vegetables. So we've already got that going. I'm just going to leave that sit off. And again, the way that we cook that, following the directions, is to just simmer and then boil for 10 minutes, take the top off, and let it just rest. Because again, we do want this to be cool. So what I'm going to do is continue to prep some of the other things for this dish. A couple of things that we're going to use are some baby tomatoes. Very simple with this. We're just going to slice those in half. Another thing that we're going to use is, these aren't really button mushrooms, they're baby portobello or baby bella mushrooms. Again, this is something that's not going to be cooked. This is just mixed within the salad. So again, got a couple mushrooms just sliced up there. Then what I'm going to do is come in with some of those tomatoes, and this is going to be very, very simple, and that all I'm going to do is have these tomatoes. Pretty simple. So again, just our tomatoes and our mushrooms. And the next thing I'm going to grab is a cucumber. You can get a lot of different types of cucumber. This is a seedless English cucumber, a hut house cucumber. So I'm going to go through and just give them a rough dice. We'll call it rough stick. That's an easy way to say maybe my knife skills weren't phenomenal, but I'll call it rustic. Up and get them into your bowl. So again, a lot of veggies we have going right there. The last thing that I want to do is bring in a little bit of pepper. I'm going to do a little bit of red pepper and a little bit of green pepper. I'm going to do a little bit of garlic in here, but again, we're not cooking the garlic, so you want to be kind of minimalistic with the garlic because it's not cooked and it will be very pungent. With our peppers, a lot of different ways you can cut this. We do have a seed pod on the inside. I'm going to do just an easy way. Take a little slice off the side. I'd take maybe a bigger slice and peel off the seed pod. Show you that in the green pepper. Half the green pepper. Then what I would do is just come in, put my thumb, peel that off, get the rest of the membrane out. Same thing with our other side. Make sure that that stem is completely removed. This didn't have a lot of seeds in it, but maybe give it a couple taps, make sure all the seeds are out, and we're good to go. Is come through and do just a couple slices, again trying to keep things in a uniform size. Get that in the bowl, and then we'll get our green. So again, we've just got a really big pile of veggies going right here. Set some of this to the side. Another thing that we're going to grab is some parsley. This is just Italian curly leaf parsley. This is kind of roll it up. They're all pretty small, so it's a little bit hard to do. But once you get them kind of in a roll, do like a chiffonade or just long ribbons, we'll just run our knife through this. I've got all my parsley together. Let me go ahead and put that. To save our time, I'm just using a little bit of minced garlic already packaged for us. And again, because this won't be cooked, we want to go, unless you love garlic, which I do, we're gonna go a little bit minimalistic on it, and as well as it's a very fine dice, so it can spread throughout the dish very, very easily, and somebody shouldn't get a really large chunk of garlic. So now that we've got that in, our last thing is to come back to our grain mix. And again, you can do anything that you'd like with this. If you want to do something different and go with couscous, if you want to use quinoa, it's completely up to you. Something with lentils, as this has some lentils in it, and it'll be a little bit more texture. The rest of those will come in with our chicken that again is already cooked off our rotisserie chicken. Just pulled a little bit of white meat, just a small amount of dark meat off. I'm going to take roughly maybe 6 ounces or so. I am going to use it on this cutting board since it is cooked and I can clean it off. And I'm just going to, they were already pulled apart, not in really big pieces, but I'm just going to kind of dice this down and get this in our bowl as well. Okay, and then we're just going to stir it up and season. A couple of things that we're going to season with, pretty simple. Just going to be a little bit of salt to taste. That's completely up to you. A little bit of sea salt. Make sure that you taste things as you go. You can't just taste it at the end. This is Greek seasoning. It's a number of different herbs for the most part. A little bit of that. Again, depending on your palate, this could be a teaspoon, it could be a tablespoon. We're going to hit it with a couple more things. Next thing will be just a little bit of pepper. Not too much because there is some pepper in the Greek seasoning. Okay, a little bit of olive oil, and again that's up to you. That's probably 2 tablespoons. Be mindful, even though it is a healthier fat, there's still calories tied to that fat. When we use olive oil in multiple stages of a recipe, it tends to add up. The next thing is a little bit of balsamic vinegar, really bright acidic flavor to add to some of the sweetness that's in there. It's a pretty good foil to make a really good flavor. So once we've got that, all we'll do is toss this together. And again, you can see the quantity that this actually ends up making for you. Not a ton of chicken in there, probably a little bit of chicken in every bite, but this is a phenomenal salad to maybe be paired with something else if you don't even want the chicken and you want to do fish or something different. You can pair this, and you've got grains, you've got vegetables. It's a phenomenal dish, and this is in all essence done. So what you could do is put it in the refrigerator, maybe separate it up into about 4 different containers, add whatever other protein you'd like. But this one's good to go, and that only took a couple minutes. If you use vegetables that are already cut and prepared for you, it'll even cut more time off. So there's one. All right, so that's one of the recipes that we can do with the rotisserie chicken. Come back and check with us again and see what else we're gonna do. Thank you.